Hey, what's up guys? How you guys doing today? So for today's video, I wanted to talk about the best controller that you can use on COD Mobile right now. So obviously it's almost the end of 2023, and this is just my opinion. So there's not going to be like facts about, that this controller is the best or this controller is the worst. This is just my opinion off of what I've played with. I've played with a lot of controllers, and I feel like people always in the comment section, they always talk about like certain controllers, but sometimes they're too expensive, sometimes they're just they just don't work on other people's phones or Android or whatever. So this is just going to be off of my opinion, just because I feel like a lot of people don't, like, maybe for them they have a different opinion on whether this controller is better or that controller is better. And so what I wanted to talk about was some of the best controllers, and kind of rank them myself. And I know they have, like, for example, a lot of people really like the Backbone controller, and the Backbone is a really good controller. I love it. And if you have an iPhone, it's amazing. I would really consider getting it. They do have two of them. They got like an Xbox version or just the black one, or they got the PlayStation version, and that one is the white one. And pretty much they're the same thing pretty much. There's not a big difference. The only problem I have with it is just that you're only able to use it on iPhone. You can't use it on Android. You can't use it on you can't even use it on the new phones anymore, because they don't connect to the charger port, the USB-C on your the newest phones. And you also can't use them on iPads. Well, like, you can't use them the same way. I feel like a lot of people got confused last time I talked about the Backbone, but you can't use them the same way as you can use them on the phone. Like on an iPad, it's too big, so you have to connect it, and play it like a regular controller, but it feels uncomfortable. Like, it doesn't feel like a normal controller. So those are some of the problems that I have with it. And you obviously can't use it for like Android and other phones, but there are certain controllers that you can use for everyone, but they have to be Bluetooth. And I feel like some people don't like that. And another thing that I personally didn't like was I couldn't stream it. I can't stream. It doesn't allow you to stream if you have the Backbone connected to your iPhone. So I felt like there was a lot of issues there, and people didn't understand, like, yes, if you have the perfect phone for it and you don't stream, and you don't want to play on an iPad, just on your phone, maybe it is the best one for you. But I felt like for everyone in general, it wasn't the best thing that you could get. And like one of the other controllers, and I feel like this one is still really good if it works, and that's going to be the PlayStation 5 controller. I feel like it's the worst one out of the best controllers, and the reason I say that is because it has so many issues. I feel like a lot of people always tell me that the PS5 controller doesn't work on Firelight 84, or it doesn't work on T3 Arena or COD Mobile or whatever. And I feel like that's been a big issue. And even when it does work, or like when it does connect, sometimes the buttons aren't working. And that's the controller that I feel like most people have the most problems with. I like, people usually leave a comment every day telling me about how the PS5 controller isn't working for them. And if that's the case, I would really consider maybe getting an Xbox Series S or X controller, just because I feel like this is the most advertised controller out there for mobile gaming. I feel like because Microsoft is the owner of Xbox, they advertise the Xbox controller for mobile gaming. And it does work really well. The controllers I've played with Xbox work really well, and they're not that expensive. They're pretty easy to find, if you ask me. But I haven't had any big issues. But at the same time, I feel like the only thing that I could say is that I feel like sometimes it has a little bit more input lag than what I think is the best controller that you can use, and that's going to be the PS4 controller. I feel like I've used the PS4 controller and I've had multiple controllers. The only time I've had problems with it is when the controller itself has problems, not like the connection or anything. Like sometimes the controller doesn't work on my PS4 anymore, but that doesn't have anything to do with like it connecting to the iPhone itself. It's the controller. But this one I feel like has the least amount of input lag, and I feel like it feels so good to play on it. When I was playing, like obviously COD Mobile being the biggest one, I feel like it feels really good. And when I played T3 Arena, Farlight 84, Apex Mobile when it was out, you know, it works so well, and I really loved it. You know, it's so easy to find as well and super cheap. I'm sure if you guys go to a local pawn shop and they have a PS4 controller, you can get it for like around 15 bucks, 20 bucks, whereas a PS5 controller is going to cost you like at least 50 bucks, maybe 40 if you're lucky. But and there's a good chance that it might not work if you're getting a PS5 controller. And I heard that the reason that the PS5 controller doesn't work that well is because they pretty much just slapped what was on the PS4 onto the PS5, but because it was newer, it didn't, like the connection and everything, it had more problems because they didn't work on it. So I don't know how true that is, because I know a lot of people want to play on the PS5 controller, but it might be best to just stick with a PS4 controller. And if they have an update, I will let you guys know, because they do update the controllers themselves, and I would love to see them update the PS5 controller, but I feel like it has the most problems. But in my opinion, I think the PS4 controller is the best way to go. If you want to go with an Xbox controller, I wouldn't. Yeah, I think that would be a really smart move as well. I think that either PS4 or Xbox controllers are the way to go. I wouldn't get a PS5 controller unless you just have it laying in the house and want to try it out. But I know that a lot of people talk about the Xbox Elite controllers, and those definitely are some of the best controllers as well. Might even be the best controller that you can use. The only issue I have with it is a lot of these controllers are like $100. You know, I think the PlayStation 5 Pro controller was $200, and it's probably gone down to like $150 now, but it's still a lot of money. So I feel like people don't consider that. Like if you're just a kid, you know, I would not buy, you know, a Pro controller just to play mobile games, because you're not even going to be able to play in tournaments. Not in the in-game tournaments, but like to get money, right? Like you won't be able to get money. And I mean, if you want to be the best player or try to be one of the best players, you still won't even get a lot of recognition just for being one of the best controller players. But that's just my opinion. And I think that if you ask me, I would definitely tell somebody to just get a PS4 controller or an Xbox controller. You know, something simple, and you're going to have a good time, and you can play multiple games and whatever you want. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down below what you want my next video to be, and I'll see you guys later.